Hey everybody, welcome to the pregame hangout. Some of us are here, including Aaron's book. Woo! Check out that cover,
I didn't
man.
show this before, but look, the inside of the cover is colored.
Oh.
Which is like, I don't know that I've seen that before, but I'm very excited. Look at my face. These
Amazing.
are the ARCs, the advanced reader copies. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I have some thoughts.
Well, I assume you read one of them. Maybe, anyway.
I mean, sorry, I just realized that Twitch finally opened and you said pregame, you said, I assume you read one of the pregame hangout because it caught up and I was very confused.
I don't know.
I mean,
do you
I've
read
read this
your
book
own stuff when you
I mean, I've read this book right now so many times, I want to scream. But yeah, I do go back and read it sometimes. Sometimes little walk down memory lane.
Cool.
Do you read your stuff after it's published?
Usually not. I don't know. It just produces so much anxiety. I'm like, oh, how could I? Oh, that was a dumb mistake. I could have caught. There is no.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There is no more surefire way of catching typos and mistakes than reading a book 50 times before it's published and then casually glancing through it like 6 months later.
Yep. First page you open to, you'll be like, oh, look.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, you kind of just have to accept some are going to sneak through. So, although, I appreciate readers who are understanding. The typos are tenacious little cockroaches that you can swat and swat and swat and swat, and there will still be one at the end of it all.
Yep,
so
that is the case.
Oh, what are the editors doing? They're catching all the others. Like, do you think I promise you there is way more than one typo and other things. I just went through you have your editor, who's like a developmental editor. Usually they're going to tell you like, your story doesn't make sense here. And you go, oh, thank goodness someone was here to explain that to me. Because it's not nice when you realize what a mistake you made. And then there's a copy editor who's going, this sentence doesn't actually make sense. You changed tenses in the middle of it or whatever. Or you said there were 9 people in the room and suddenly there's 15. What's that about? And then there are the proofreaders who are like, you forgot the comma, who also will catch the things that the previous couple miss. So I just got the notes for the second proofing pass, where for the first time someone noticed that a character realizes something that he explicitly thought about 4 chapters earlier. She's like, what happened here? I'm like, thank goodness I can fix that. Along with myriad commas and capitalizations and such and so forth. Books are a lot of words, and there are a lot of things really that can go wrong.
Yeah, it is 100% true.
So yeah, Black Pit started airing today. This one was pre-recorded, so they are going to air it at 9 a.m. today, tomorrow, and Friday, as well as at 2 p.m. today, tomorrow, and Friday. So it is
sounds exciting.
Crazy. Yeah. Bailoff brings his friends to the Black Pits. Shenanigans ensue. Hi, Yang.
Yo, what up? I finally fixed the video so I can come hang out.
Hooray!
Yeah. Going on, friends? I saw you show your arc earlier.
Yup.
You got one of those for all of us, right?
So they're like, how many do you want? And I went, how many do I want? So I asked some friends and they're like, you want 20? And I was like, I want 20? Okay. I'm like, I want 20. And they're like, how about 10? Because this department is getting 20. So
dirty.
Like, well, they're all mine now. So I got 10. So I need to figure out what to do with them. What part of it is like it's good. They're good to give to booksellers so that they can read the book before it comes out, and then they put those little cards on that say, "It was amazing. I loved it." And they're good to give to people who might review it, and they're sometimes good for giveaways. So I'm just trying to figure all of that out. But I didn't show you missed this part. It's colored on the inside of the cover too. I don't know if they'll do that in the final book.
Nice.
I hope they do, because that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Look, this is my face.
Oh, very
Amazing.
nice. Yeah. Just
I
like
like
how we
the-
have it on the overlay.
The map is really, really, really cool. She did a
that's
lot
rad.
of really neat details.
So will the hardcover come with like a slip off cover or something? that
No,
will have,
because
like, the
it's a
full
trade
map, or-
paperback.
Oh, okay. I see.
I'm not that special.
Will
No,
somebody-
trade paperbacks are gorgeous.
So if somebody wanted to actually like find some place to look at the entire map, will that be available somewhere?
Not sure. The cartographer is named Francesca Barold, and my hope is she has prints of a lot of the maps she does. I'm going to pull up her website so people who wish to, why are you sending me somewhere else? I've only ever looked at one Francesca. Thank you.
In the
Yeah, put it
meantime,
in this.
everybody take a look this way. This way over here. We are giving away a copy of Asian Ghost Story Anthology that Emily Tang happens to have a short story in.
Woo.
So she will sign that hardcover and she will mail it to you. Only people in North America are eligible, unfortunately, but enter it with !enter.
So the cartographer is an artist named Francesca Barold. She does really gorgeous maps. Put her website in the chat if people are curious about it. And she sells prints of a lot of those maps. So my hope is she will sell prints of this map, and then I can maybe bundle some with some books for some cool giveaways.
Heck yeah.
But
Do you hear that, folks? More
don't
giveaways coming in the
actually know.
future.
Nice.
I'm also
Speaking
using
of Emily,
chopsticks to eat Cheetos, just FYI, because I abhor
Oh
having
my gosh,
Cheeto
no,
fingers.
she's holding the milk cup.
good job, Astrid. Acrobat baby.
Oh, good. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Astrid. You're a
Hi.
little troublemaker.
I'm gonna turn off my video for
Hi.
a moment while I frame Emily.
Say hi.
Hi, Astrid.
Can you say hi to Erin?
Oh, got a compy.
Oh.
In my lap. Oh, sorry. I forget about talking about baby bodily functions in front of other people.
Oh, did you forget we were hanging out? But that's even better. So I told them about your giveaway a little bit, Emily. I don't know if you have a copy there to actually, or the copy to show them.
I do. And it is right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, folks.
Nice
so
foil.
we are giving away that copy tonight.
Yeah, it's like the super fancy like Barnes and Noble's edition of all the classics.
Nice.
Baby.
Baby. Mama's book baby.
Yeah.
Are-
It's
Are
your
you
little
seeing
Mirabelle.
yourself, Astrid? Is that what's happening?
She is seeing my laptop background.
Can you tell us about your story?
About the one I wrote?
Yeah, and then the anthology.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, it's angry woman gets revenge on
I'm already sold. I threw you off. Finish the explanation.
I was waiting for more. Yeah.
Where's the
by,
rest?
by calling on her even angrier grandmother's ghost.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
Sweet.
Oh, this sounds like a one-shot waiting to happen too.
So, necromancy, huh?
Who wants to play the angry grandmother?
Yeah, I was gonna.
The role of a lifetime.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I can see it. It's like a race against time where like something is coming and then all the players have to like activate the ritual before the timer's up to summon the angry grandma or else. Now explain to us about Beep Beep. Tell us about Beep Beep.
I need to go change a diaper.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh. By Astrid. Oh man, that kid's pretty darn cute.
Wait, Emily, you're not changing the diaper. You're leaving, right? You're not actually. Are you changing the diaper on stream?
No. I'm leaving eventually. She's,
Oh, okay. Because you
doesn't
came
wanna
back and I was
leave
like,
the
what's
chair.
happening?
Sometimes kids don't want to go where you want them to go.
Right on.
What are you gonna do? Well, what else is new?
She's listening to the mouse.
Oh.
That's so funny. I know she can't see us, but I will also listen to my mouse with you. Hello, Astrid. Ring, ring, ring. Beep, beep.
Oh,
So what else is new?
Hmm.
I went and
I have
saw
a Mai
Hades
Tai.
Town yesterday. That was real
oh
fun.
yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty good
it's in
things.
it's touring in Seattle between the 12th and the 17th. It was real
good?
It was real good. Especially if you're a mythology geek like me or like most of us.
I was gonna say.
Like there's got to be a reason that people get into fantasy, right? And one of the main primary reasons is they read all those mythology stories and they're like, wow, this is way better than Huck Finn. Why am I reading that in class? Anyway.
Hmm.
Fight me, Mark Twain. Fight me.
What was the worst book you had to read in high school? Like the one where you're just like, this is killing me.
Ooh.
Old Man and the Sea.
I was far too young
that is
to
very
read.
bleak. Sorry,
I was far too young to read Pride and Prejudice at the time. I was 14. Okay, that's way too
Mhm.
young to read that book.
Yeah, you're not gonna appreciate a lot of the. There's a lot of books where it's like you're not old enough to sort of have absorbed the human condition enough to get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read it later?
Yes.
Did you like it better when you read
a
it?
lot better the second time, like 10 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys my Pride and Prejudice story?
No, I don't think so.
The Respect Women story?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can I tell the story real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you kind of have
I'm
to at
going
this point.
to insist you tell
Okay.
this story.
So Papa Wang is like this really stoic, like Asian dude. And he does not like anything except for a few choice things, such as mobster or gangster movies and epic war movies.
Yeah.
So imagine my surprise when I come home one day from college and I see him. He's just like watching something just riveted on television, and wanting to sort of like bond with him. I walk by and like, hey, Dad, what are you watching? And like, he turns towards me like, and he's like, he pulls me down to the couch next to him, and he's like, sit down, son, learn something. And I was like, okay. And it turns out to be the BBC miniseries of Pride and Prejudice, and it's running on like a freaking marathon. And so we end up watching this for like many more hours until the end. And then afterwards, like the credits are rolling, and I'm like, well, Dad, like, what'd you think? Like, did you like it? And he's still like just leaned forward, like just staring at the screen, credits have rolled, but like he hasn't said anything. And then he like turns to me, his eyes full of emotion, and he's like, I hope this has taught you a lesson, son. Respect women. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I'm not like disrespectful towards women. Like, where did you get this idea?
He's been seeing, oh, what's his name? Wickham. He sees the seed of Wickham in you.
Oh my God, I
You
hope
must
not.
crush it.
Yeah. But ever since then, this is my college days. If he knows that I'm with like a female friend or like a girl, there's a girl like anywhere in my vicinity, like when we're on the phone or something, he's like, is that a woman? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, are you respecting her? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, remember, son, respect women. And it freaking drives me bonkers. Well, it drove me bonkers for decades. It's like being accused of a
that's
crime constantly that you never did.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating. Like, I'm not saying that's not a lesson of Pride and Prejudice, but it's also not what I would have pulled out of it necessarily.
Yeah. Yep. So for
But I
2
guess
decades.
Don't Be a Wickham is definitely on the list of easily taken lessons.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
Although, I mean, he makes that okay in the end. Just everybody hates him too, so. Don't be a Wickham, though. I don't want to be friends with you if you're going to be a Wickham.
I don't want to be a Wickham. I mean, I think
Alright,
it's impossible
cool.
for
We're
me
all
to
on
be.
the same page.
Yeah. But for like 2 decades afterwards, whenever I had a friend, so I would tell my friends this story. And then, of course,
Mhm.
my female friends are like, should we tell him that you're respecting us? Like, should we like give testimonials every time we see him?
Just call it Papa Wang. Be like, just so you know.
So I begged them to. Like, I was like, yes, please do. But, he's sort of reclusive, right? He's a shy guy,
Yeah.
stoic. So he doesn't really come out to stuff. So in the background of my phone calls to him, they would start shouting, Yang Yang's respecting me so hard. And like, just like stuff like that. I'm being so respected. Like, it was really something, I guess. And then I had one friend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I had one friend who like jokingly threatened to like tell him that I wasn't respecting her. Yeah, he took that pretty seriously. So anyways, yeah, that followed me around for a decade. He would always just constantly ask or tell me that.
I don't know why that. I've been laughing about that for a while. Oh.
Nice.
So the books that people had to read in high school that they absolutely hated. The Pearl. I don't remember The Pearl. I know the name and I can't
Oh.
remember what it's about.
I know what it is. I haven't read it though.
Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. That seems like a weird one to get thrown in high school, but actually saying that, I think my friend that was in a different school district had to read that. Because I remember seeing it on her shelf and being like, what is this? I had to read, I maintain that making teenagers read Romeo and Juliet is just not a great idea.
No.
We had a long stretch of like, everything's terrible, so why don't you kill yourself kind of fiction. And I'm like, what are you doing? Everything is kind of terrible, and don't put this on people. Have you seen the fluorescent lighting here? It's not helping anybody's mood. But the other one that I was definitely like not old enough to appreciate in any way, shape, or form was A Separate Piece. Did you ever have to read that one?
Nope.
It was like boys in an English boarding school. One of them's a swimmer, and then he jumps out of a tree and is paralyzed or something. I don't know. It was so slow.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So like not quite the same category, but like low key devastating was like Where the Red Fern Grows. Like I was not prepared to read that book.
Oh,
Like as a young kid.
Punch You in the Feels books.
Yeah.
What was the high school book you read that punched you in the feels?
Yeah.
Or younger? You're
Definitely
like, what?
made me sob like in my bedroom uncontrollably after I read it.
Okay.
We had to read Flowers for Algernon, and that
Oh.
was devastating.
Hmm.
Oh,
Also
interesting.
in the stretch, right? We had I
Mhm.
Never Promised You a Rose Garden and Romeo and Juliet and Flowers for Algernon. And actually, that was also the year we read Lord of the Flies, which I did not. I was too young for Lord of the Flies. I was like, the lesson is boys are dumb. That was not the lesson of Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. We spent a long time reading and dissecting To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah, we did that one too.
Yeah, I read that
Oh,
too.
so many projects on To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes, and The Crucible. And then we watched their movies back to back.
We had to do the same year, because I was in like advanced English. We had to do The Crucible and The Scarlet Letter. It was a lot of Puritan adultery going on.
Yep.
Definitely read The Scarlet Letter too. I read this book in high school called Montana 1948. Has anyone else read this book?
I've never even heard of this book.
Okay, it's about Montana in 1948. And mostly it's about racism, unsurprisingly.
Surprise, yeah.
Anyway, but you know,
what a twist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Young, sheltered, naive, privileged little me went up to my teacher and said, why were they so, you know, cruel to these native peoples? And they looked at me and they're like, it was Montana 1948, Eric. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's on the cover.
That was on the tin. Yep.
That was very memorable.
The other one we had to remember having to read was oh my god, what is it called? The Jode family one, where the Dust Bowl.
Grapes of Wrath.
Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah. We also did
That
East of
was
Eden.
another one. I feel like I should have been older to read and really appreciate. I remember the thing I remember most about that book was it took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that Rosa Sharn and Rose of Sharon were the same person. That dialect was very thick.
I think Great Gatsby is a book that, you know, people
Yeah,
should
we'd read
not
that one too.
necessarily read in
Ditto.
high school. I think it would make a lot more sense if you read it in your 20s or 30s.
Yeah, totally. I remember the teacher just trying to impress all of us by being like, the eyes on the cover are the eyes of God.
And then we watched the movie version with Robert Redford, and the teacher was like, oh yeah, it's Robert Redford. Isn't that cool? We're like, who? What are you talking about?
Basically, like every American novel read in my youth, we had to basically figure out what was the metaphor for God, or, you know, the symbolism for God. Always on the test.
That is interesting and very telling about American
I had
literature.
an elective English class called 20th Century Authors. This is where I had to read a separate piece. And we also got to read The Client and Jurassic Park.
Whoa.
Nice.
And so I had to write papers on Jurassic Park. That was very interesting. That's also why a separate piece feels so slow, because if you read The Client first, which is just basically like Zoom, but one of my favorites was what's the book? It's not a book, it's a short story, and there's like time travel, and the guy goes back in time and he sees the Tyrannosaurus and he steps on a butterfly, and then he comes back. What is that called?
I forgot the name of that story, but yeah,
It's not the butterfly effect or the perfect storm or anything like that.
Story with butterfly.
I'm just also gonna do another low-key
Sound of Thunder.
Oh yes, The Sound of Thunder.
Yeah, so we had to read that, and then we had to sort of like talk about the thematic connections between Jurassic Park and The Sound of Thunder. This is where I'm going to it's not a big brag, but it's sort of a knock on the rest of my class. I was the only person that didn't write in my paper, both of these have dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Everybody else had to redo their paper. Because the teacher was like, what is wrong with all of you?
Yeah, let's see. You read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells.
Oh yeah, I read that.
Oh, I didn't read that one.
And for some reason, we had okay, so in either my honors English class or my honors history class, they were taught by a husband and wife who taught at the same school, conflicting classes, honors history and honors English, in one room that was divided by like a folding wall. So they could open it up and it would be just one big room. Anyway, So their curricula kind of bleed together in my head. Anyway, one of them made us read The Jungle
Hmm.
by Upton Sinclair.
Yeah, Sinclair.
Did you get the like? Did you read The Jungle and get taught the socialist message, or was it just dirty meat equals bad?
Yes, the dirty meat equals bad part. That book would have been way more effective if it weren't so disgusting.
The one
People get
that's
hung
always
up on that. Mhm.
surprised me, it's like sophomore year. So we did Romeo and Juliet freshman year, and then senior year was Hamlet. And I don't remember what Shakespeare play we did in junior year, but sophomore year we did Julius Caesar, which is
Oh.
another one I
Oh.
don't think necessarily speaks to teenagers, but what's a good play?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there I read Macbeth for my own purposes because I think Macbeth's a cool play.
Yeah, that's a cool play. Well, I guess I just want to quickly add that like half of these books, whatever my English teacher thought it was really cool if we like reenacted it. Like you said, play, and that triggered my memory. Like we'd be assigned partners and we'd have to act out scenes or something from these books. It was all garbage theater, but like, oh God, was it excruciatingly long. Like, just imagine a room full of teenagers like just staring blankly as we like took turns like butchering this amazing text. And
were you like reading from the text, or was it like,
yeah,
we're gonna do Great Gatsby, you're Tom and I'm Daisy, let's go?
Yeah,
and now we're gonna like act it out? Or
no, you could hold the book and then you like, somebody was like a narrator and then like somebody did dialogue one, dialogue two.
But you had to stand up in front of the class while you did that?
Yeah, we took turns. And then we did like some of those other ones, like a Glass House, which is actually like a play, but
we did that sometimes where people stayed in their seats though.
No, we had to get up to the front of the room. This is before we had like smart devices or phones, so like all just I don't know.
You read from a textbook.
Yeah, but the audience, the rest of us had to retreat to like our imaginations to pass the time because it was I don't know. Anyways, so we have to play the recap.
Find you books with with a bigger cast, so everybody has a part.
Yeah, we're like a fun book. I don't know what a fun book would be to act out, but yeah, a fun book. Not Lord of the Flies. Maybe Lord of the Flies. Okay.
That depends. Is there going to be a pig head in the class?
Oh my God. Okay, so on that note, we gotta go to the recap. We will be back in a few minutes.
Great. Don't go away.
Harpers and irregulars and witches. Oh my. So it seems while the irregulars were fighting the Witch Queen, the Golden Raven, a bunch of Harpers had gone and shown up. And, well, they had managed to fight their way through some of the Golden Raven's goons that had shown up on the scene, and rendezvoused with the group around when Cecilia was sort of cradling her dead mother. So, that's fun. But it seemed that one of these Harpers, Viscaris, had met Cecilia in the past, and even at least gotten the vibe from the witch hut outside of Candlekeep that, well, she was around, which was helpful. And they kind of quickly caught up a little bit with Cecilia informing the Harpers of this whole situation with the Chronomancer and the timelines and all that craziness. So they cut a deal. The Harpers would help Cecilia find the Golden Heart of the Rift if Cecilia helped them with an issue that they had finding a Zentrum agent in Candlekeep. Of course, they searched all through Candlekeep, found some strange and troublingly enchanted books, turned a man into a cat, and really all they found was kind of a dead end. It turns out that the Zentrum agent might have been Cecilia and her people. It didn't help that Cecilia was wearing a non-detection amulet with a Zentrum emblem on it, and, well, let's just say she and Viscaris are going to have a bit to talk about. Still, they're holding up their end of the bargain and will be helping her find the Golden Heart of the Rift. So maybe, just maybe, the irregulars will find what they need to stop the Golden Raven once and for all. Here's hoping.